Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Fleet Ops audio commentary. I just did one game in first person in which I got my butt handed to me because excuses I haven't played Romulans in a very long time. Then I played another game as Feds where we rolled the same guys and won. So now I finally get to do one where I'm recording but not playing, which means I get to talk a whole lot more and I don't have to think and get tongue-tied. So today they did an alliances game, so they didn't know the teams until they started. We have ShadoWdeGrey, bottom left, well, left side, as orange, and we have Sutee as yellow Klingons. He is Martog. They are both Martog. Up on the top right, we have Klingon and Fatal Exception. Fatal Exception is Romulans, probably Halev. And Klingon is also Romulan. So we have 2 Klingons versus 2 Romulans today, which means everybody's scouts are cloaked. Which means, in the beginning at least, everybody should know what the other team is doing. And this is very important in this game. I've noticed a lot of times scouting will determine who wins and who loses. Because in some cases, I mean, the Romulans specifically, they don't build static defenses for their expansions. They have their fleets they use to defend, and their expansions will die very quickly if they get attacked. So for a player playing against Romulans, you have to know where the Romulans have their expansion, because if they if they go back here, get something for free, if you never find out about it and never attack it, then the Romulan player has an advantage there, because he's not good at defending it. He wants you to not know where it is. Whereas, as the Romulans, you have to know where your enemy's fleet is at just about all times in order to defend. Which is why a Klingon versus Romulan game, the Romulans tend to have a bit more firepower in the fights. The Romulan ships can usually take out the Klingon ships and survive, so they are a bit of a bully in that case. But the Klingons have a huge advantage in the defensiveness of their expansion, because they build their field yards for like 300 dilithium, and their miners have almost twice as many hit points as the Romulans do. So the Klingons are a whole lot better at raiding the Romulan mining than the Romulans are at raiding the Klingons. So it becomes a match of the Romulans are trying to engage the Klingon fleet and get ship kills so that the Klingons don't get critical mass, enough ships to kill off the Romulans. Whereas the Klingons are trying to get critical mass while expanding, and if the Romulans ever make a false step, then the Klingons can just go shut down one of their mining points. So we have here, group refresher, Fatal Exception has his yard, but he's not doing anything with it yet. I wonder what he has in mind. While his ally, Klingon, is going for Griffins. He has 1 Rien, probably for tanking. Doesn't have phase blades, though. I definitely like this 1 Rien idea just because it has lower defense. It will tank for the ships. And in the next iteration of Fleet Ops, this is going to become a much bigger deal because they'll actually have defensive class ships that can... The defensive class ships get fired at first, regardless of their defense. So instead of doing a whole bunch of math to make sure that your lowest defense unit is the one that you have tanking, it'll just be part of the game. But in this case, their phase plates give them significantly reduced damage from short range, so I always keep that around, decloak it in the middle of a fight, and it will tank the short range damage, which a vast amount of this Klingon fleet would normally be short range damage. Here we have Sutee, I remembered it. He's going for his armory, so he is anticipating, they're all anticipating each other right now. He's anticipating Laval's from Fatal Exception, which is short range, and he is responding with his battle yard. He's not doing any small yard ships, so I guess this is a fairly large map, so they're not too worried about raiding. This gives him 2 key options. He has Sangs and Vorcha, and Vorcha take half damage from short range. So the Vorcha will shut down Laval's, which is probably why Fatal Exception is going Griffins instead. Griffins versus Vorcha, a pretty even match. Although you can see he got a Laval upgrade, so he was really expecting to go Lavals. And now he sort of has to change his mind. Because he sees that armory. Whereas the Sangs are okay versus Griffins and Lavals. They're probably better against Griffins. They just do really good damage to them, but their defenses are not very good. A good Sang Cloud is nice, but they're not useful until you have 4 or 5 of them at least. Here we have a push out from Klingon, 1 Griffin, 1 Rand, really just hoping to shut this down before it happens. That's pretty forward expansion. And over here, player I've been ignoring for a while. He has Burrells and Cabbage. I don't know how well that's going to work out. These Burrells, once there's enough of them, they can go raid the Romulan mining very well, like I was talking about earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I messing this up? ShadoWdeGrey, Fatal Exception. There's the Laval. Oh, okay. With the Laval, he will be able to kill this off. There's no way.
My Shadow is pushing Katingas up.
Katingas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's thinking he just wants to get a ton of firepower on the board. I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. I mean, he expanded over here, so he has a good economy, but I think he needs more firepower than that, because like I was talking about, these Romulan ships, these early Klingon ships, they have tons of firepower, but they're all very individually weak. And so the Romulans are very good at taking them out, like with Metaphysic Disruptor on the Laval. So, where did that Laval go? The single Laval. Where did it come from, too?
The Laval?
Yeah.
The green one?
Yeah.
It died. Oh. I see one Levals from Tony at their middle expansion at the top.
Oh, okay. Huh.
How many Borchas it's on the board? Do you know? I see only
Borcha?
one.
Just the one. Because before that he was building Sangs. By the way, this is my co-commentator, Drone. He's eating dinner right now. So here we go, he's harassing these. And ShadoWdeGrey is like, hey, I was building Katinga anyway, so I'll just pop all these and add to my fleet. And these... Oh, that's right. The Burrells. I totally forgot. The Burrells are the cloak detect, so... Unfortunately, he's getting out in time. You really want these Burrells to be cloaked, sitting around here so that they can decloak and start pinging immediately. Because now these Romulans are going to escape. But as long as these Burrells are in the fleet, if they fight, then these guys will die. You can see there's only 3 ships here. And yeah, there will be more soon, but their defense value is really low. So, if a Burrell is firing at it, it will die. Because the Burrell's faster, and it will prevent it from cloaking out. So ShadoWdeGrey, he's still pumping all of his resources into his small ship production. As you can see, he doesn't really need the Tritanium that he just lost. And over on the right we have Fatal Exception about to come in and attack. Sutee is very low on ships with this strategy. He has 2. He has Vorcha and his Sang. He's about to get another. And that Vorcha isn't going to die, and it has really good offense. But it's only 1 ship. And this is going to get sniped.
Well, and by the way, the top team is attacking the middle.
Yeah, I can see here. This is all going to die, unfortunately, for the bottom team. And they really don't have the resources to defend it.
And he even lost the field research.
Yeah, he didn't cancel. Oh, yeah, he did. He canceled. At the last second.
It must be like in last second.
Yeah. Sutee is expanding a lot.
Anyway,
And mining
the
a
bottom
lot,
team took a lot of losses, I think. And what they get? 1 Leval?
Oh, they did get a Laval.
Yeah, they have the Burrells they can cloak.
I forgot how fast this fleet moves. This entire fleet is like 120 or 130. speed. So ShadoWdeGrey's economy is still in the toilet, but he is at least getting some ships out.
Yeah, the thing is, he is building small ships, so he does not need so many resources. So when he lost his mining now, it's not such a blow for him because he does not have second yard anyway.
Yeah, I think at the same time though, he really wanted that resources because he wanted to tech up and start doing other stuff.
Sure.
And here, Fatal Exceptions expansion is going to go bye-bye. Sutee's managing very carefully. He has a ton of resources, but he's kind of stuck for what he wants to do next because he wants to put up a yard. In fact, he was probably planning to put up a battle yard at this middle expansion here, and then they would have repair, and then he would be able to start using his resources. But since that got shut down, he needs to get another yard up so he can start spending these resources.
And by the way, nicely used sensor jammer 2 times from the top team, from Tony, I think.
Really?
And who's that? Klingon. Klingon has lost all his expansion.
Klingon and Fatal Exception. Tony isn't in this game.
Yeah, they lost like, I don't know, 3, 6, 9, at least 10 miners for the top team. Lost in the past minute, so...
And here, oh man, ShadoWdeGrey is getting his mining taken out again, and that one will hurt him. That dilithium. In fact, he's almost locked out right now, to the point that he couldn't build more.
Shadow is not mining anything.
So maybe Sutee needs to get some resources over to him. Meanwhile, Sutee's cloud is getting kind of nasty. Ah, they got a lucky hit there, but... What is he at, 3 or is it 4? Really? Only 3 Vorcha? I really felt like he would have been on 4 by now. But they do build kind of slow. And now he's going to be dual yarding Vorcha. There we go. Now his big chunk of change is spent.
He does not have the tritanium for it.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he's getting improved weapons. Guy has tons of resources.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay, and ShadoWdeGrey's cloud is pretty nasty too. I don't know if they can kill these griffins though. They're going to take a lot of losses.
Yeah, they will.
Oh, he thought they were cloaked. He definitely thought that fleet was cloaked. Or he wouldn't be flying it around like that. They can kill a griffin or two, maybe.
No, they can't. Oh.
No, they can't. Oh, this is bad. He needs to go.
Yeah.
He needs to leave right now.
He will lose a lot. And one thing that I would like to see in this play is the cloaky scout from Romulans, because they have the unique opportunity to decloak retreating fleet. Klingon cannot do that. Klingons can
although it's tricky. I don't know how much they'd be able to catch them anyway, because they're so slow. Because Griffins, well, okay, compared to most ships, they're not slow, but compared to ShadoWdeGrey's fleet, they are.
Yeah, but they can catch Vorcha. Vorcha is not such a fast ship.
Fatal Exception, I guess he had his mining knocked out. He's got 2 yards, pumping griffins. Well,
Shadow is sending his miners from Triton into dilithium.
But once again, talking about scouting at the very beginning, Sutee has the back corner mine, and he's just making money off of it permanently. And the top team does not have theirs, and they are not making money off of it permanently. So, I mean, that's like, 50%, 30% increased economy for him over them. And he is going to be able to double yard Vorcha permanently on 3 dilithium, 2 tritanium.
Yeah, but on the other side, the bottom team lost. It's practically not mining from their middle expansion.
Yeah.
Because it's permanently getting graded.
Oh, here we go. Oh, the top team moved out of position just in time for the bottom team to attack. They're going to kill that, and they're going to kill that griffin too. Oh, no, he cloaks it fast, but... Although Sutee is going to lose a yard. So they're going to trade expansions here.
Probably.
Oh, I don't know if I would engage with these griffins. That's not a good call.
Yeah, especially not with 1 Vorcha.
Yeah, these griffins, they're nice, but they don't have the firepower to compete with the Vorcha.
Oh, he has. Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming this Griffin, or this Generix, is supposed to be upgraded to a Singularity or something. Or maybe it was just a misclick. I think the bottom team is very quickly getting an edge in this, though. Because I don't think the bottom team, or I don't think the top team has enough firepower to kill any of these Vorcha. And there are now 6 or maybe 7 of them. Yeah, 6.5. And once again, he canceled his construction, he decommed his yard, so Sutee has tons of resources.
Yeah, like 2.5k dilithium, 1.3k tritanium, enormous amounts of resources.
ShadoWdeGrey isn't producing anything at all. He's putting his resources into his own economy. So he's not going to be much help, but... Oh, and his fleet's about to get killed. Or damaged.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, that's a tough call.
He's pulling back his Griffins.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of Burrells. The thing is, Fatal Exception could take that fleet, but he would lose at least 3 or 4 Griffins, and he knows it. And he's like, I'm going to wait for a better chance.
They probably want to move together.
Meanwhile, over here, who is it? Klingon doesn't have much.
Shadow is going to get hammered again at his main base.
These guys really need to start double teaming each other. Sutee is the only one whose fleet could not be taken out pretty easily by 2 of the enemies. Like if the top team got both of their fleets on ShadoWdeGrey's, it would die. If the bottom team got both of their fleets on anything.
By the way, we can see what lack of scouting can do. ShadoWdeGrey is moving his ships for no reason to the top and scouting the moon, which is empty.
He can cause some damage to Fatal Exception, but
yeah, he can attack his main dilithium. Actually,
Klingon's about to take it all out, though. That's the other thing is Klingons get those little sensor scout stations, and those are so awesome. I love them. They only cost like 120. I would have built in this game. I would have built a chain of probably 4 of them right across this middle corridor. And then 1 at my home dilithium, 1 at the shared expansion. Just a network of like 6 or 7 of those could have completely shut down this Romulan raiding. Because, I mean, obviously they're just going to decloak and attack the sensor station and kill it. But if you leave your fleet, because right now all that needs to happen is these guys need to find out where each other's fleets are. They're just playing tag and nobody can find anybody because they're all cloaked. But if you set up...
that sensor station will do for you is, if it's enemy fleet going near me, I will decloak them for you and die, which means you can block the way. And if someone is going there, you will know it for 130 dilithium. Wow, it's awesome price.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if it's nothing but moving your miners away or popping them into Katingas before the enemy gets there. But also, they never know if your entire fleet is sitting there next to that sensor station about to kill them the moment they decloak. Because that's the other way you kill Romulans. You can kill them by decloaking them, you can kill them by having too much firepower to kill them before they cloak. Or, if you can engage them right after they decloak, they can't cloak again for like 15 seconds or 20 seconds, and you can do a lot of damage that way. And that's how Comp always gets me when I play Warbirds. He waits until the instant I decloak, and then he decloaks on me. So, these cloak games are all about predicting each other. So, like here, Klingon's fleet could take out a bunch of miners, but I don't think he could take that battle yard. But he sees Sutee's fleet's over here, so he knows it's safe to engage. However, I think, once again, Sutee might do more damage. He doesn't even care about the mining stations, he just kills off the workers. Ooh, one of these Vorchas has ranks, I think. Oh, no, that was this thing. And you see here, okay, there he closes out. Huh. No, they're not going to get this. He should have just gotten all the miners. Because this battle yard's going to live. and Klingon has to get out.
I wouldn't bet on the battle yard. I think it's going down. Oh, it's not. He closed. Okay. He's going out. They will get 1 or 2 Griffin kills because of the Braille.
Oh, they only got the 1. Wow. Those Romulans really can get out fast if they have to. But at the same time, every single Griffin that dies is not good for him. He's rebuilt his mining. Man, these guys are really persistent. And here we see another thing the Klingons can do. He's got, what, 2 Katingas and a Burrell, and he's just going to park these up at the top right moon in case the Romulans ever try to get it. And it would be a serious pain for those Romulans to try to take that, because they'd have to keep a fleet over there. They have no turrets that could take that out, that could defend that.
Interesting.
Ooh, they did get a decloak on ShadoWdeGrey's fleet, and they're going to get some good shots until he realizes it.
Sure, he's going to lose a lot.
Oh, he isn't realizing it.
Yeah, he did
Oh, that is bad. And he's still not engaging. He has a decloak scout on him.
Oh man, why?
Oh, yeah, that's... There it goes.
So many Griffins.
Told you they needed to double team something.
Sutee's coming.
Captured it. Oh, hello. Now the tides are turned.
This will be one hell of a battle.
They do have a lot of sensor jammers, but that'll only last like 6 seconds. I think they need to click and run. I think they need to take the win for what it was and get out. There aren't enough sensor jammers in the world for you to get guys to win this fight. Well, we're seeing. But no, none of these Klingon ships are dying. I mean, there's a handful of ShadoWdeGreys left, and there goes that Sang. Okay, now we'll see if he can kill any of these Kavort or Vorcha, but you see... Maybe. Okay, there goes one. Okay, so I underestimated the Griffins.
And Warchuk cannot fire backwards.
Oh yeah, that's true. Of course, there's.
And he's a little bit slow on the repair
yeah,
button.
Yeah. I wonder if he's paying attention to something else, or Sutee is missing some really key repairs.
He just lost like 3 ships, 4 maybe.
So that is going to hurt him. He's still been getting consistent Griffin kills, though. I think. Well, no.
Yeah, he is, but. Oh, he saved the last 3 Warchus. Okay, that's cool.
I won't say that was a win or lose, but I'll say that evened the match for the top team. They're in a much better position now. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, ShadoWdeGrey is mining again. And he has decent income. He's starting to build ships. And he's about to kill off Klingons mining.
Yeah, there's only the 2 of those miners, so...
Yeah, and you can see here, they have ships on the board, but Klingon is not able to build much. Well, I mean, he's got 1 yard going, so... But now he's going to have to pay for this expansion again.
Oh, he's targeting the constructor.
That's the last one he owns.
Yeah, it will hurt him
Come
a
to
lot
think of it.
because...
Okay, Fatal Exception is 1. And I know I'm a whiner about this, but I really have to whine one more time. The current Romulans do not have a mid-game above this, because the devs, you know, they were introducing the new generics that are going to be in the next iteration, and so they took out the old generics, they added in the new ones as a prototype, and then they decided to start on the new patch, and then they've been doing the new patch for 2 years. So these Romulan players, it used to be they could go up to generics, frigates, or specters after this, and they could tech up, and they could get something that would... The frigates would be really nice against these ships here, against the small ships, and the specters could survive against the Vorcha. But now they don't have that because, like I say, it was removed. They added in the prototype generics, which are not balanced. They're, as prototypes, they're not good enough to be competitive. They were experimental and they're too weak for their cost. So the Romulans can't do anything except build more Griffins.
True. Maybe a few Levals.
Yeah, I mean, Levals would almost be downgrading at this point. and they can't because the Vorchas counter them. But like, there's nothing else they could get. Disruptor Riens take extra damage from medium range, which is these Vorchas, and would take a lot of tech cost. Warbirds, there are no Warbirds they could get to in time that would help them. The new generic Spectre, once again, it was a prototype, and it would totally annihilate the small fleet, but it wouldn't do any good against the Vorchas, and it costs as much as a Vorcha, with like 2/3 of the stats as a Vorcha. Now, these Griffins are very angry.
Oh, and he saved the Vorcha.
He did. It's rough
he's
because
going to over... No?
No.
Yeah.
It's rough because the Griffins belong to two different players, and so they were targeting different things. If they had focused fire. And now we have the Griffins running away. Or they should be running
those
away.
Griffins are still targeting...
Why are they not running away?
Oh,
You see, if this was one player, he could cloak and run.
Dude.
But since it's two players, they can't communicate fast enough to tell each other that they need to run.
Yeah, but they killed the yard.
They did kill the yard, but it doesn't matter at this point. Sutee has the
and
resources.
Borels are here. They are going to get some extra kills from
This is going to be the bottom team's victory.
Oh yeah, I totally did not see that one coming.
Yeah, all the Griffins go away, and it'll be GG.
Griffin suicide.
Oh, I love the way those Vorcha look when they're all lined up shooting at something. And then they pick a new target and the entire fleet just like swivels. Well, that was a very long game of cat and mouse. I like it. Alright, yeah, that's been Triptych and Drone bringing you a Fleet Ops audio commentary. I'll post this in a day or two. I'm signing off.